Hello, everyone, and welcome to TFYLP, episode number 325, recorded March the 30th, 2019. I am your host, Ron Land, aka Weird Wolf. Along with me this evening is Headmaster Dawn, Jack Brunner,
Hi.
Jim Black, a very clear Jim Black,
Hello,
For
everyone.
once.
and Sean McGinnis.
Be sure to drink your water.
A dehydrated Sean McGinnis, apparently.
Mhm.
Let me make sure everything's rolling here. Yes, Nightwing, you're on board with us already. Great. Good to see you. As everybody knows, if you're watching us live, you can comment on our YouTube channel or our Facebook Live feed, and the comments should show up on the video as we are airing, and so you can interact with us as we go throughout the show. Want to get our sponsors out of the way real quick. CapturePrey.com, great toys, great prices, great service. CapturePrey.com, where you can save even more with free domestic shipping on orders of $150 or more. And now you have the benefit of Stasis Pod, which you can order now and pay later, and save even more with CapturePrey.com. Also, Ripped Apparel, if you use the promo code TFYLP Pod, all capital letters, just one word, no spaces. Yes, TFYLP Pod. And you will save 10% on your order at Ripped Apparel. That is, unless they have a better promotion going on, then you'll get that instead. And then, as always, if you love what we do here on TFYLP, you can help support us each and every month by going up there and following that link at patreon.com/TFYLP. And I don't know why my video is blinking.
Mine's doing that too.
Mine was blinking. I think it might be Skype. It's not on my end. But anyway,
It's time for left turn.
yes. If you go to patreon.com/TFYLP, you can help support us each and every month. You for as little as $1, or if you feel froggy with $100, it's whatever is safe in your budget. You can do it and help us continue each and every month, because without you, we could not continue. But the great thing is if you support us through TFYLP, you get additional content from us in the form of TFYLP After Hours, which is an entirely separate show from what we do here on TFYLP. A lot more laid back, less topical driven. We just talk about whatever's on our minds. I know several things have happened, like Rick gives us updates on his display habits, or display room rather. And we have special guests once in a while. You know, we had Get Right Robot drop by. What was it? Last week? Week before last? I forget. We pre-record them, but you should get at least one or two every month. I believe we did 2 this month. We did 4 last month, but we're just trying to get the ball rolling. But that is if you become a Patreon subscriber. So subscribe to us on Patreon and help support us, because we benefit from it, you benefit from it, we all benefit from it. So it's all good. And I do not know why my webcam is flickering. That is so weird.
Yeah, like I said, mine was doing that too, and I just ended up turning it off and switching. I had no idea what was going on. All of a sudden, I just heard this random clicking and blink.
You guys look fine to me.
Yeah, I switched my camera, so.
What happened to Sean?
Yeah, he's
I'm
Skype.
still here.
Skype is being a little bit wonky.
Okay.
It's
Skype
not
is,
Skype. I turned it off.
I know, but Skype is acting weird today. But anyway,
Yes, it is. When is it not?
when does it? Yeah, true. But
Okay, I should not be seeing snow right now. Not
what?
Cool.
You're
It's
getting
apparently snowing.
You're
We get that in Wisconsin every
I
other
was
week.
outside like a half hour ago, coming back from Walmart, getting blackout, and apparently I missed it.
wow. Yeah, it's rained off and on here today, but the weather's been really, really great.
Yeah.
So I think tomorrow though it's supposed to get a little chilly. But without further ado, I think we'll do our ouch my wallet. So Jim, since you've already said ouch and held up your big purchase, you want to talk about?
Well, I said ouch because I stabbed myself with my knife in the finger while I was trying to cut one of the little twisty tie things. As far as ouch my wallet, I have procured now Dark of the Moon Ratchet from Studio Series. Missed out on the regular version, so I'll have to settle with the Dark of the Moon, I guess. Voyager Megatron from Revenge of the Fallen. And in the process of releasing Blackout.
Ah.
It was just a thing of beauty.
He is. He really is. Antoine Lewis said it was 75 degrees in Columbia, Maryland. I'm not happy with that.
Well, in Wisconsin, we got both snow and sunny weather in a span of 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm flashing. I don't know.
Oh, I hope not.
Woo.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
Somebody throw him some beads.
No
video
third-party
is
add-on
flickering.
kits are on.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, we'll just have to deal with it. As long as my audio is good, that's the main thing. My video is flickering. You still see me, but it's just flickering. I don't know why. It's just weird. That is annoying though.
Now, despite the flickering, it's still recording okay, right? You've checked that?
Yeah, I mean we're broadcasting. Everything's
Okay.
Everything's good.
Just
Bring
make
it up.
Everything's showing up on Facebook fine.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool. All right.
Poltergeist. Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah.
So, Sean, you got any ouch my wallet?
No, just life in general's ouch in my wallet. I'm boring this week. I have stuff I've Transformer.
Well, you're in the middle of moving too, so that's
Yeah. I brought some Transformers with me to keep me company. I don't know if I talked about them before, but I've transformed the Mech Fans Toys Omega Supreme, and it is amazing. And apparently, it works with the Diaclone dudes, the little powered suits with the little tiny guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of playability and fun factor there. And it looks like there is a set coming out that looks like a tiny Omega Supreme, so you could have a tiny Omega Supreme working on your other tiny Omega Supreme working on the big Omega Supreme once the Siege one comes out. So you could have like a like a nesting doll Omega Supreme going on.
Tell me the tiny one has some pink on it.
No.
So it's
perfect.
It's Omeg EGG.
It's not Supreme.
No, Omeg Supreme.
Yeah, it's not Supreme, but if that might be a good recolor. Make them into Supreme. Yeah. Here's
now that's from Mech Fans Toys.
Yep.
Aren't
Mech
they?
Fans Toys,
Aren't
and
they
it's just the size of a glass.
Aren't they primarily the
Oh, so cute.
The KO.
Yeah, KO people? They
Yep.
like KO other people's designs.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is actually an original one. I could not find an original one of this other than the one they made.
So one of their original designs. Huh?
Yes, it's strangely terrifying. And it looks like there's a
LED.
inside. No, not LED, but there's a clear plastic piece on the middle.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll see if this would power on with an LED.
All
I
right.
doubt it.
Well, Jack, since you haven't been able to be on in a while, I think the last time you was on an after hours, like couple.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my schedule's just been so jam packed with tournaments and school and work. I just haven't been, on. So one of my more recent purchases, I did get Studio Series, their Crusher of Bones, as I'm quoting Emgo. I absolutely love this because I've used the original Deluxe as my main bone crusher for, I think, since that thing came out. So that's been 12 years. But I lost the head on it, so I managed to get the Jungle Bone Crusher and just transplant. So I used that for a while. Then I got this. Because I got this along with the new version of Prime, the one that combines with Jetfire. And I love that Prime. I'm honestly loving that, the movie 1 Prime, technically, a lot more than the Revenge of the Fallen. So I got those two. I got Siege Megatron, Siege Cog. He's fun. He actually looks great with Fort Max.
Siege Cog? Oh, Cog. Never mind. I'm sitting there. My brain was in studio series mode, and never mind.
I was going like, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did get Studio Series Dropkick, who I find is a hidden gem in the Studio Series line. He's absolutely fun to deal with. Transformation is a joy, and I like the robot mode on him. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just been Studio Series and a couple Siege. Yeah, just those guys.
All right. Real quick, before we continue, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to quit Skype out and then restart Skype. So the broadcast should still continue since we use separate software for that. Just bear with me and let me be right back here.
I'll hold it on today.
Well, I have to say it, but after these messages,
We'll be right
back. If you're a kid of the 90s or
Even I know what those are. Good lord!
Isn't that movie that had Jack Black in it and those kids?
Jim, I am going to come through the screen and I will feed you that can. I mean, this is my friend at work who does not know who Duran Duran is. He had never heard of Duran Duran.
Again, I was born in '98. I know who exactly they are.
So hopefully that took care of the,
I guess that's the benefit of listening to the oldies station on the radio.
Hopefully that took care of the...
You did not just say oldies.
Duran, we can't hear you.
You
Did
can't
you
hear
say
me?
oldies?
Oldies.
Yeah, you're...
That's what they even
I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready.
Okay. Now.
Are we
Well,
good?
there we go.
Okay.
Well, imagine how I feel, Jim. Quantum Leap is 30 years old this year.
I saw that on
I was
Facebook.
there for
I
the
remember
premiere.
the premiere of that.
I have it all ripped to a cloud drive. So
Oh boy.
So Don, what
Yes.
what have you got?
Well, first thing I've got is a meowing Massey for some reason, and I'm not sure what I've done. So I'm sorry.
She's trying to get your attention so she can.
Well, I just gave him treats, so I'm not sure what the deal is. I've had a pretty good run of luck lately, surprisingly. I don't have anything with me right now. It's all in the car because it's been a pretty busy last couple of days. So lately, I have picked up Terra Axton, the Wave 2 Battleizer. I picked up Studio Series Bone Crusher. I found, after searching 3 Walmarts.
There
out
for
of
a
town-
second, I thought you said you was going to say you found your thrills on Blueberry Hill.
No. But
my.
Demonic Bone Crusher. I was going to show this.
Damn it, Sean! Now you make me want that.
It is beautiful.
But the
Yeah,
thing
it
is, it defeats the purpose of Legend Scale to me, because see, Legend Scale I want to put with my Titan class figures.
See,
You know.
he's still small. It's just like it used to be. Way
And
too big
cute.
for the scale.
And they've also got 2 other versions. They've got the Guardian Blue version and a new red and black version, which I think is more of an homage to the base Robo that Omega came from.
Of these bigger ones or the
No,
smaller
is that
ones?
the MechFan Toys ones. They've got
Oh.
they've got other colors.
the red and black? Is that the one that was also known as Omegatron?
Well, I don't
That
know.
was the first one.
Yeah,
That was like
I
the
think
original mold.
Yeah, I think that's what it was in Japan originally when it came
Okay.
out. Atomic Robo or something. Anyway, so after checking 3 Walmarts out of town and not finding anything, literally one Walmart only had 3 Optimus Primes and a tailgate on the shelf. That's all the entire store had was three of the $49 reissue Optimus Primes and 1 tailgate.
Huh.
I come back into town and my local store has Warpath, Gears, all of Wave 2 Deluxes, and there was been nothing there for almost 2 weeks. So luckily, I picked up Ironhide, I picked up Prowl. I haven't picked up Chromia yet. I just haven't got around to that yet. I did pick up the Warpath the mini bot reissue as well. And I picked up one other thing and I can't remember what it was.
I wonder what prompted them to decide to remove the combining feature on Chromia.
See,
to go out of their way to do that. You know,
that's what really. That's what I was upset about is because basically Alita 1 didn't have enough team members to combine with her team, and the toy that they would any other time have reissued with just new paint as Chromia, they went out of their way to take away the combining feature, and now we're getting Lancer later on. That's the repaint that Chromia would have normally been under any other case.
Lancer
so it's like
and what's the other one? Greenlight.
Yeah, green. So it's like that. It's Hasbro doing. It's like, oh, they think we know what we're going to do. Well, we'll totally do the opposite, and then we'll do it later on.
It just seemed a little strange that they would go out of their way to put forth the extra effort to do that and take away a feature that could be implemented.
Yeah,
and be more of an incentive to buy that figure.
They even made the Legends Megatron from a couple of years ago have the grooves built in that Masterpiece Starscream could hold him years after the fact, and a combiner figure from the previous line, less than a year to a year and a half old, still doesn't have enough members to actually combine with the rest of the team. Anyway, I'm looking forward to those. I guess it's time to open them up. I'm not sure I mentioned it before. I picked up earlier. I picked up Cybertron Starscream, Siege Starscream. I picked up World War II Bumblebee, Studio Series Sideswipe. So actually 2 Sideswipes. For some reason, I always tend to buy 2 Sideswipes because he's my favorite character the way he looks, and he looks really good in the Studio Series, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So after several weeks of extreme frustration of not finding Siege Wave 2, because I'm probably not going to buy a 6-gun, because my Metroplex is Utopia, and I'm not one to actually take. I know the function of COG is to break them apart and give them all these weapons and stuff. I've never done that.
Yeah, I was the same.
Except for the Battle Masters. I really don't ever. Unless it's Brave, and then you kind of got to, because that's the whole part of the thing. You've got Galgagar. What are you gonna do? Have Goldie stand over there by himself? No, you can turn Goldie into a hammer, give it to Galgagar, have him pound the crap out of the Zondars. That's what it's there for.
Makes sense.
The COG stuff just never really. Splitting them apart, giving everybody weapons and feet.
And Don freezes.
Looks like he's in mid-sneeze.
And we lost Dawn. No, we lost Sean. Nope. Skype is just being crazy tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome back, Dawn. You're moving.
Thank
again.
you. Yeah,
like I said, you look like you're in mid-sneeze.
Yeah, I just. I also picked up this guy. I forgot. This was what I forgot.
Oh.
Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime.
It's
It's weird. I found him before I found Wave 2.
I love the original, but I really don't want that. I don't need it.
Well, I thought the same thing, Duran. I'll be honest. I thought, because see, not counting Masterpiece, Galaxy Force Convoy is the second best mainline Prime they've done to me. You all know what the first one is to me anyway. But, because we all know that's Fire Convoy. But I really like the way the figure looks. It's not near as unwieldy as the Galaxy Force Optimus. Again, you're looking at almost 10 years of difference and downscaling, I understand. The only bad thing is, once again, let's say it all together, the instructions suck.
The instructions suck.
Turning his turning his flight pack.
Did somebody
into
say
the trailer.
The instructions suck?
Yeah.
The
I want to play it one more time.
Yeah. Turning the flight pack into the trailer, I basically gave up, turned it into what I remember Galaxy Convoy looking like, and then trying to connect whatever tabs I could find to fit together. Like on Ultra Magnus, you've got the two clips, the two mushroom pegs, kind of, that goes into the clips in the back of the legs.
Yeah.
Once I was able to figure out how, because basically it shows you 4 or 5 steps of stuff swinging up, then swinging part down, then swinging down again, then swinging back. But it's gray on gray on gray, and you really can't see what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
And one other issue is these shoulders here, the shoulder pauldrons here. These come off and parts form, and they go inside the legs in truck mode. The problem is the instructions are so difficult to actually see that one of the viewers on RFC posted pictures on Twitter of how they're actually supposed to fit in the legs, because you can't tell from the instructions what side, and without knowing exactly how they fit, they stick out past the legs. So when you put the legs together, they don't clasp.
Okay.
They fall right apart.
Jim, could you mute while you're messing with that? That way, people don't.
Yeah.
You know, there's something I've noticed though about the Siege line. You were talking about it a minute ago, Don, and it really dawned on me that
Really dawned on you?
no, dawned, not dawned. Yeah, never mind.
The dish
That was a
soap.
joke.
Never mind. But
Aren't accents wonderful?
yes, it occurred to me. It occurred to me that the Siege line seems like more so. Maybe it's just the way I perceive it. The Siege line seems to have more people wanting this and that from the line, rather than more than people saying, "I want the whole line."
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I'm one of those that I want this and that, but I want most of the line.
Yeah.
I think one of the big problems with that, Duran, is going to be the battle damage. But if you've noticed, the further we're getting into this line, the less battle damage there really is on some of these figures. It's like, I've got Prime right here, and I'm looking at him, and there is nothing I would call battle damage on him. There's a lot of sculpted detail, and there's a lot of everything on this figure, but to me, there is no battle damage, and I think that's what was causing a lot of the issues. Is people wanted to see what it looked like in person, and we've also
so inconsistent throughout the line. There's some of the figures have none of the scuffs and stuff.
My cog doesn't have.
Yeah,
or it's like
He's clean.
Just spatterings here. I think that's the big thing. Is most people either don't like the weathering and are taking it off with like Mr. Clean or whatever, or Magic Erasers or whatever the case may be, or in my case, it's not worth it on I think Optimus here would look a lot better without the weathering, but it's such a good toy I can look past it. However, we have heard rumors of there being another version of this Optimus coming out, possibly cell shaded, based on the pictures we saw at Toy Fair, or a exclusive which does not have the weathering. It's what's been discovered in various computer systems kind of could go either way. So there's that. But the weathering doesn't bother me as much, but I would prefer it with a lot less or none at all. But that again, that's just me.
You know, you say something about a possible cell shaded prime, and I'm like, they can't do the weathering right. I'm just afraid as to what a cell shaded a official cell shaded prime would look like.
Again,
How else would they screw that up?
Well, this is all a grain of salt, but some of the pictures at a toy fair, it was pictures of mock-ups, like cardboard displays, and the pictures of them looked like they were cell shaded. So either it was there just as a decorative thing, showing off the figures coming out without the battle damage, and it was just there like, ooh, look at the pretty shiny stuff, and this was what it is. Or they're actually doing cell shaded as maybe as a build up to the Siege cartoon next year, and they'll be released as part of a pre-hype for that. I don't know. That's just what we're hearing this far out.
Interesting. Well, I'll go into my ouch my wallet. It's kind of short. I'm if you watch this week's TFYLP After Hours that drops on Wednesday, you'll see one of the things I got. So I'm not even going to bother to mention that here, just to kind of save on time.
Spoilers.
Yes. But the first thing I got actually, Sean, I think we're getting some feedback from you. I'm hearing an echo.
Echo?
Yeah. But the last thing I got, I'll go because it's relevant to our main topic. The first thing I got actually was this guy, and I literally got him a few minutes before we went on air, and that is Zeta Toys Skydive, the down thrust. And so yeah, I haven't even put my Autobot insignias on him yet. I literally just took him out of the package like a half hour before we went on air, and I cannot wait to finally form Kronos, because I got him today, and then earlier this week I picked up I got the Silverbolt. So
it looked like he was doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin walk.
No, I've got him like throwing a punch. Yeah, so.
Oh, gotcha.
But I mean, they're not perfect. My Silverbolt has trouble holding his pistol. It's like he'll hold it, but you touch him and he instantly drops it. So, yeah, that's my biggest complaint about that. And then the other thing that I got, well, actually I did get another thing, but it's over there, and I picked up MP Optimus Primal again. This is the third time I've owned this toy, so I'm probably going to be done. I was completely done with Beast Wars Masterpiece. You know, I'm like, I was like, you know, I had Primal, I had Cheetor, and then I saw Dinobot, and I'm like, Cheetor was full of gaps, Dinobot was full of gaps. I'm like, I'm not liking the direction they're going with these guys. So I just sold all my Beast Wars masterpieces, and then I saw the Megatron that they're doing, which looks amazing, and I'm like, I'm all in on it, you know. So, well, if I own two Masterpiece Beast Wars figures, I might as well own Primal, which I already knew was good, and Megatron. So I'm gonna, you know, a Megatron should be in at Capture Prey, hopefully, knock on wood, in the next week or so. So yeah, I'm gonna pick him up whenever I can. And then I've already got Primal now. But my other ouch my wallet is relevant to our topic tonight. We're going to be talking about Studio Series and how it's changing how we view the Transformers movie toys. So the last thing I got was the
Scrap metal.
scrap metal. Yeah, I found him actually at my local Walmart. It surprised me. They had this one. They had the whole wave. They had Shatter. They had
Cogman.
and there was one other in that wave. I can't remember what it was. I passed on Cogman, even though he's a headmaster. I really don't think I need it.
You need it.
No, I didn't care too much about his character. Really, he had a couple funny lines in the movie, and that was it. But I really want the Devastator, even though it's not. I'm not real crazy about the Devastator design from Revenge of the Fallen. But I really want that Devastator for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's going to take roughly 2 years for this guy to come out completely. Because I was looking at the instruction booklet, and it said, well, this guy's out now, and then there's like 2 that's coming out by the end of this year. Yeah. 2 more that's coming out by the end of this year, and then like the other 3 come out like next year, and all by the end of next year. So, yeah, I'm going to be waiting on that for a while. But
yeah, that Devastator, it's kind of a mixed bag because scrap metal, he's awesome, but
he's actually very good for what I expected less. I really did.
He's like a great standalone. Like, just the only thing you know that he's a combiner would be that little piece coming off the side of his hip behind his left leg. But Rampage really falls short. Old Pogo man. But
I haven't seen that. Is that one out yet?
Yeah, it is.
It's a Voyager.
Okay.
He's built well, but he's lacking articulation, and he's a pogo stick. So that's 2 strikes.
Well,
but he's a necessary part. So
you win some, you lose.
I'll be
some.
honest. I'm glad we're getting a decent movie Devastator. I have absolutely no desire for it. I don't care. I am passing on all of it because it is way more effort than I want to put into something with that much money, that much time, hunting for everything. Paladin brought this to my attention. Do we really want to hunt through this many class sizes and this many price points over this long a period of time trying to complete this thing? I don't.
Don't really.
If you do and you can find it, awesome. I'm going to be saving so much money by not giving a flip about Studio Series Devastator. It'll be happy. Hell, I've got my Mixmaster up on eBay now, the first Mixmaster, just because I just want to get rid of as much, stuff like, I'm not going to transform that figure again. Why I bought it, I'm still not quite sure. I'm sure I had a good reason at the time. I don't remember it, but I'm sure I did. But it's. Even Massey.
Yeah, I heard that one. Massey doesn't even like it.
Yeah. Well, Massey's also mad that I closed his window that he's had open all day because the road is like right there. So.
He's like, I want to run so bad.
No, he just wants to lay in the window and stare at stuff.
Congratulations, Jim. Yes.
It's a helicopter. It's a
Golf
very
clap.
beautiful helicopter.
I want to say probably the last 20 minutes or so has just been getting the panels to line up.
Yeah.
But this thing is a beast, man. This is leader class, but holy crap.
Okay, Jim, to give you an idea, okay, you finally have a point of reference. The Zeta Toys Vortex is roughly that size. The arm of Zeta Toys Bruticus is that size.
Yeah, speaking of Bruticus,
yeah, that's too big.
No, it's not.
I put
No,
Zeta Toys Bruticus together, and it was a pain to get to. It was almost ready to be in combined mode, but it took forever. And then once
I
I
didn't
got
have
together,
that big of a problem.
the knees, whenever you go to articulate the legs, the knees, the spring seems a little too weak, so it just pops out of joint. Do you have that problem?
Well, on Swindle, my Brawl, the only thing my biggest problem with mine is the Brawl's treads, they come off so easily. And then the Swindle, the connector to him is really, really weak. But I mean, I can pick him up and carry him around, and he won't fall apart. It's just if I try to pose him, that's when the problem comes in. Now I've heard the Chronos, which is a Superion.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it is way better, and it's more solid.
Well, I'm not getting Chronos, but I watched Bobby Skullface's reviews, and he says Chronos is dead solid in robot mode. So I'm hoping what we're seeing is a progression with Zeta. So when we finally get Raiden, because that'll be my first Zeta toy that I'll be definitely looking at, because we're finally getting a combiner, outside the core US ones. Mm-hmm. But I have to wait and see on that one.
But yeah, I'm in for the Studio Series Devastator, and I think this will be a good segue. I can't talk tonight.
That wasn't a very good segue.
Off the cliff.
No. Yeah. Yes. Well, I mean, when you've been up like I have today, but I've also not eaten, like, I've had a banana today. That's about it. The Studio Series is really making me look twice at movie toys. And to give you an idea, it's like the only movie toys I have right now are Studio Series. Outside of Scorn, I still have Scorn from Age of Extinction. I loved that toy. That was a really good toy, and I kept it. And then I've got the movie masterpiece Bumblebee, because I thought that was really awesome too.
Mm-hmm. The Scorn was that the deluxe Scorn?
Voyager.
Voyager. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, last night. Okay. Yeah, that one. I mean, either way, I still love both Scorns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Age of Extinction, but I don't know. They all blur together anymore. Actually, I had in my whenever I had all the movie toys that I had, I sold them all off, and Jack bought my masterpiece movie Bumblebee that I had.
Actually, I'm like, he's one of my favorite masterpiece figures. He's fun.
He is a lot of fun. But after I sold him, and this ties in with our topic last week, of culling out toys and everything. Once in a while you'll come across a toy that you actually regret selling. You miss it, and you'll go back and get it. I know Sean knows that all too well.
I do that all the time. It's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those toys that I had to go back and get. It's like if I have like one, you got to ask yourself. It's like if I have one representation from this whole series of events, what would it be? And I'm like, Bumblebee was the central character in all the movies pretty much, and that's a really, really good representation of it, that Bumblebee. I don't care if I have any other Bumblebees, but that one. Now, I haven't had a chance to mess with the VW Bug Masterpiece B. I don't know if it's any better or as good.
It's wonderful.
Is it? You
wonderful.
have?
Yeah, I've got them right here. It reminds me a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry. You said the masterpiece.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought Studio Series.
No, I've got the Studio Series one.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought you were talking about the MPM Volkswagen Bug the whole time. So you're talking about the Camaro?
Yeah, I've got the Camaro one.
Okay. Yeah, the Bug. He's cool. I got him for Christmas.
I've heard he's a nightmare to transform, though. Is that right?
He's not fun to transform, but he looks cool in both modes, and he gets there. But I think for the money, and we went through this on the microcasters just after Christmas, but for the money, I think you're better off just getting Studio Series. He does basically the same things, has the same kind of weapons, and he does it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Studio Series more in depth right now. The Studio Series, like I said, I think almost all the outside of the couple examples that I gave, all the movie toys that I have are Studio Series, because in my opinion, as a collector, and there's a couple masterpieces that I want, but if I'm going to have multiple representations or multiple figures representing the movies, I want the best ones that I can get. And I have to say, the Studio Series is really knocking a lot of these out of the park. And what do you think? What do you guys think really sets the Studio Series apart? I'll start with you, Sean.
Well, I didn't have a studio. Well, I guess I didn't have a movie collection before Studio Series came out, and I'm a big fan of interesting transformations and engineering, and I like to see how things go together. So, I mean, Studio Series, whenever that came out, I was hesitant, but after I took another look, the transformations are interesting. Everything holds together well. It's not too complicated, and there's extra paint apps that you don't normally have. So even though their faces look like a bag of knives, and I'm not a fan of that, I am a fan of the engineering.
Okay, Don, what about you?
Well, it's weird because I was pretty much done with the movies.
I think we all were.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, I had the toys of some. Again, some. I'm looking back, I wish I hadn't bought. Some like the Mixmaster I have up for now for sale that I haven't touched in years since I got it. But granted, that Mixmaster is not an easy toy to transform. Granted, so
basically explodes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was Bad Cube before Bad Cube was Bad Cube.
Yeah.
Much. But the thing that's really striking me about Studio Series is, I think a lot of people are getting what they wanted now that we didn't get then. We're getting the paint, we're getting the details, we're getting the refined engineering. I mean, I've heard a lot of people. Now, I have the Bumblebee Optimus from the Bumblebee movie Optimus. I haven't opened him yet, but I've heard people say that's one of the best Optimus in that price point that they've ever seen. Again, I haven't opened up mine, so I'm not sure. But I think a lot of people are just glad to get designs they liked with the attention to detail and better engineering passes. Because some of the toys were just frustrating messes.
Well, I think there's something too that along those lines that should be mentioned with this is the fact that you got to realize that the movies and the toys were always pretty much out concurrently. It's like whenever the movie hit the shelf, hit the theaters, there was already toys on the shelf to represent those characters. And whenever they designed those characters, sometimes they didn't have the full designs, or they had just some CG renders that Hasbro and Takara had to base these toys off of. And I think the first movie Prime was one of those, a good one of those examples, is that, he didn't transform very much like the movie. He didn't look a whole lot like the movie. He did in the face, but there was a lot of elements that were so different. And that's why it blew us away whenever the Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Prime came out. Yes, it was a nightmare to transform, but oh my God, what it achieved in the look. Yeah. Compared to what it looked like on screen.
Right.
And that's why the Buster Prime is one of the more sought after versions of that toy, is because it's got the chrome and he looks just so much better. So I think for the most part, though, the characters were sorely lacking in accuracy, and now we're finally getting some accuracy in the toys.
Because a lot of people took umbrage with the movie as being as thin as they were on characterization, and let's be honest, is not the most consistent narrative of a series of films.
Well, we're not talking
seen.
about the films right now. Tom.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I'm
films are
saying,
trash.
but I'm saying a lot of people they liked what they were seeing on the characters, but the toys weren't representing what they wanted to get. Like you said, so we're now getting the toys that people wanted to get originally. Now, granted, I've bought a lot of stuff. I've Dononomicsed a bunch of stuff because if I'm going to have this stuff again, I'm going to hunt for sales, hunt for clearances, do whatever I can to, because I'm basically buying duplicates of what I've already got. Just again, better versions. So I'm glad the studio series is apparently doing very well because over the past couple of weeks, my local Walmart they must have gotten in at least 5 to 10 cases of Optimus and Rampage. All the stuff is Rampage. Every Optimus is gone.
That's the same as my store because the new wave that included Shatter, Scrap Metal, and Cogman, there's at least 5 of each. The line must be doing great around here too, because I mean, between everybody I know around here, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who buys Transformers in bulk, and I was expecting it to die out here.
Well, I've said many, many times on this show how terrible my Walmart is at stocking new toys. Once in a while, they'll get a new wave of Siege in. But if they restock, it's usually movie toys.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to see Warpath soon.
My Walmart doesn't even carry the reissues. Period. Not even the small ones. And that's
I can get you $49.77 Prime.
What's that, Sean?
I said if I see a set, I'll pick you up a set. But I retract what I said about Studio Series because I just remembered that Shatter was in that wave, and I opened her up and she shattered. Her arms popped off, her fender popped off.
MGO was having the same problem.
I've been hearing a lot of problems with Shatter, and again,
it's a shame because that alt mode is awesome. I love that car mode. It's so.
The robot mode looks actually pretty good. I picked her up in the store yesterday whenever I picked up Scrap Metal here, and I was actually impressed how cool she looked in the package and everything. The robot mode looks really, really good.
She looks cool, but she collides. Everything, like, she can't move because all of her panels collide on each other. It's just horrible engineering for her. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I picked her up too, but on the same toy run, I found a figure that I was able to resell and make $15 profit. So I got $5 invested in Dononomics. So I mean, I knew it was a bad figure, but basically I had $5 invested in her, so I figured I'll go ahead and get her, and why not? Yeah. But I haven't opened her yet, so I may wait and see if they do any kind of tweaks because there's supposed to be a running change on Cybertron on Siege Starscream where they're adding a pin to the chest, supposedly.
Yeah, I saw there's another Siege Starscream at my Walmart, and I looked for a pin, and I shined my flashlight from my phone in there, and there's still not a pin. So
right. So I don't know if that's true or not, but hopefully, if they're making changes to these running changes, a Shatter down the road, if she's in a repack wave, may have some better QC. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just really impressed with Studio Series all the way around. It's just which is as shocking to me as anybody else because I was so done with the movies. I wanted to move on. I was just movied out. But I saw Sideswipe, who is one of my favorite movie figures. And that's Sideswipe. He's got a little bit of a panel problem in vehicle mode, but he looks. And I like the fact they sort of took the first Sideswipe and Sidearm Sideswipe, which is my favorite movie toy, and sort of biomerge them together and give this good homage looking character.
Sidearm was extremely well done.
Yeah, Sidearm it's my favorite movie toy without a doubt. Even above Leader Optimus, it's still one of my favorite toys.
Dude, and if you guys see a Jazz, you don't have a Jazz, pick up Jazz. Even though he's small,
I agree.
He's awesome.
I agree with that.
I want to say one thing about Jazz. There's a lot of people I've noticed when they pick him up, during the transformation, they seem to have difficulties lining up the panels in the car mode to make the Pontiac Solstice.
Oh yeah.
And they're complaining that it's not that good of a toy because nothing lines up. What a lot of folks, from what I can tell, seem to be missing is in the back of the lower torso, the hip section.
Mm-hmm.
That actually pegs into the roof of the car. There's a peg.
That was about to say. Yeah.
If you make sure that's snapped in place, everything lines up flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy here. I finally.
Ah,
It took me 2 weeks messing with this thing, trying off and on. I'd get frustrated and throw it down, and frustrated. Well, I did figure out one thing, and it's something that if the instructions were more clear, I could have probably gotten this. But I don't know if you can see on the on inside the wheel here. There's these little tabs, little flat tabs. That actually clip on the bottom of the feet. The feet will go up in there. Yeah. The feet will actually clip on.
okay.
Those, but you've got to get it up in there. The big problem with him is he's got so much crap shoved up in there that he just wants to bulge out everywhere. I still can't get fully the back of the car to, as you can see, there's a gap there. But I think. This is the closest I've gotten. Yeah, this is the closest I've gotten to getting everything fit just right.
And they're so particular. You have to have every little tiny tab and every little nuance just right.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll work. But that's
Now
Now that doesn't come with any kind of a frenzy, does it?
No.
What?
Unfortunately,
No.
not.
No, well, the frenzy is you trying to transform it. That's where you get.
Yeah.
That is the frenzy.
The only accessory it comes with is a blender of doom. So.
But now I got a question for the group related to the Studio Series stuff. Okay, I've opened up a few pieces. Like everyone else, the instructions are just. Why do you? And this is sort of tangential related. With this line coming out, and as not complicated. As precise as these transformations need to be for stuff to work out, why is Hasbro still not making the instruction revamp a priority in both Siege and the movie? We're seeing very lackluster instruction.
They don't care.
I know, but I'm just saying.
It's
At this point, with the precision that these movie toys needs. You would think they would give you the best instructions possible to reduce your frustration. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we can do as a fandom to have them look at this because Vangelis has brought this up. Every major reviewer has said the instructions are mostly crap across the board.
I just generally toss the instructions aside, and I'll either pull up
back in the box.
I'll just pull up a YouTube video if I get stuck, or just
and there it is. I think Hasbro has a vested interest in the community and the reviewers, and they want you to go see the toys and look at them.
Yeah.
Well, I try to do it myself first, and if, like I said, if I get to a point where I'm stuck, then I'll pull up a video, and then I'll fast forward to the part where I'm like, okay, here's the part that I need. All right, that's how you do it. And then I don't watch the rest of the video.
Usually, it's in reverse of what you get the toy. You're like, and then you got to backtrack, and that's so annoying.
But here's the thing: if Hasbro is wanting people to use video reviews for whatever reason, whatever the case may be, one, why bother using money to put the instructions in there at this point if that's the case? Two, why aren't they doing their own video reviews on their own website?
Because it costs money, and they don't have people to do that, John.
Okay. That leads to my third thing. Back when we had the issue with Jazz and the deco that shouldn't be on there, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That was done by an outside contractor. Why don't they check with their outside contractors and see if anyone can come up with since these people are already on the payroll, see if anyone can come up with a better layout for instructions. If they're going to be in there, they should be usable if you're spending the money. if you're not going to make a decent instruction manual and it's going to cause frustration and drive people to somebody else's website, save the money, don't print them, drop the price, drop the MSRP by $1 if you're not going to include the instructions. I'm just saying, do something or do nothing, but just don't keep charging us for instructions that are worthless.
Honestly, go ahead, Jim.
I was just going to ask. I don't recall what was an issue with Jazz's deco. Which Jazz?
The Mega Jazz.
Without just the short version is that one of the decos was a Cybertronian, and when you translated it was MAGA.
Oh, the Power of the Primes Jazz.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I put a repro label over that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, since they have these contractors out there.
I meant this guy.
Yeah. Sorry. So these people are already contracted for work. If one of them can come up with a better instruction manual or a better design that doesn't cost any more money than what they're doing, and it reduces the frustration of everyone across the board, isn't it at least worth looking into?
If they could retain people, that might happen.
I think what it will take is, and I think Rick talked about this on an episode some time ago. Back whenever I believe it was Revenge of the Fallen came out, and Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Prime was a prime culprit. A lot of feedback was sent to Hasbro about how difficult that toy was for their children to transform. A lot of them either returned the toy or they threw it aside because it was just too darn frustrating to transform and too difficult to understand. So they went with the simpler transformations. Now we're starting to get back into a little more complicated transformations and everything, and they still got the same shitty instructions.
That's what I'm saying. We're going full circle on an issue that I know that they have to know about.
Well, I'm sure they are aware of it, but I don't think they're fully aware of how frustrating it is. And I think what it is basically collectors, fans, moms and dads, need to start sending their feedback to Hasbro and saying, look, we're buying these toys. Obviously, we want them, but you're going to need to include better instructions.
Yeah, it's just, and the reason I'm saying that is because the movie toys by default were a lot more precision needed to transform these things, because there were so many non-normal aesthetics, like on Barricade. You have to squeeze so much into that car mode that you need precision instructions, which we're not getting. And I'm thinking the health of the studio series is maybe it's only a very small part, but I think it would be tied into some of that.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I liked about Scrap Metal, and even though his instructions are just like everybody else's, they're all crappy. Little tiny illustrations that's gray on black or grayscale pictures. I just don't like them at all. But I was able to transform him without the instructions. The only time I looked at the instructions was to see what part of Devastator he was. I couldn't remember what he was. And I looked at the silhouette that was on the back, and that's whenever I noticed it was going to take 2 damn years to complete this thing.
You do have it mistransformed. The scooper is supposed to come around underneath as a cross-show armor.
Oh, so what you're saying is kind of like.
No, bring it all the way in. It's his armor. See?
Yeah. The clapper.
Just like G1 Scavenger.
Yeah.
He's got the.
That's essentially what he is he's Scavenger reimagined, I guess.
Nice.
So, Jack, what do you think, as being the youngest member of TFYLP, how are you viewing the studio series, and how has it changed your view, I guess is what I'm trying to ask, of the movie lines in general, movie toys, Transformer movie toys?
Well, obviously, the movies played a big part because by the time the first one released, I was only like, I think it was. Don't think I even turned 9 yet, so I was only like 8. And I saw the movie. I'm like, I want to get every character.
Is that gray in my beard? I'm starting to feel.
I was gonna say it might be on the top of your head, but I'm like, wait a minute, you don't need you don't have any hair. Anyways, when I first saw the movie, I'm like, I want to get every character that I possibly can that looks good. And obviously, when I was 8, I didn't really care what the toys looked like as long as I had them. Then when I got older, there was certain toys I missed, like movie 1 Voyager Megatron. I'm like, well, if I were to find one now, it would have took me like, I think 8 years and maybe $60-$70 to find one complete mint and sealed box, which would have been the killer for me because
Sean's bursting at the seams for something. Oh,
I'm trying to find mint and sealed box also.
So I'm like, that was the main thing, is because as every movie came and went, I'm like, I just want to get every character that was in the movie, then I'm fine. Every extra character that was like pretty much cannon fodder, I'm like, I don't mind missing. I'm like, as long as I just have the base characters, again, totally fine. Then all of a sudden, Studio Series came around, and they're pretty much redoing stuff from the original 07 movie that I either had and are not the greatest looking things, or they're falling apart faster than you could say, well, whatever saying you'd like to say. I can't think of anything at the top of my head.
Protoform Starscream.
Lord.
Like, there was...
God, that thing.
For example, movie 1 Ironhide. Obviously, he didn't look... He looked somewhat close to the movie, but wasn't exactly. I played with that thing more than anything else. That was one of my favorite toys from the first movie. And all of a sudden, image releases of Studio Series Ironhide, I'm like, I'm going to get that. I'm going to love it as much as the original, and it's going to last a lot longer. I got him.
That movie won Windshield, though.
Yes. That thing was a pain. I put more work into that thing more than anything else that I've ever owned. It was ridiculous. So, pretty much the moral of the story is, as soon as Studio Series came out, because like Don was saying, after the movies ended, I was done. I'm like, after the last night, I only got a few from the last night. I'm like, I guess I'm fine. These guys all of a sudden came around, and I'm like, well, there goes my wallet again, because I wanted to get every character that I wanted from the first movie, because only from the first movie, the original characters were Ironhide, Barricade, and a Final Battle Jazz. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I saw the entire Autobot team, close to the entire Decepticon team, because obviously we're missing movie 1 Megatron, I'm like, yeah, my wallet's going to die in this line. As much as I love all these toys and design,
I think the biggest allure is just the fact that it's so the representations are so much better, and like Sean said, there's so much such better paint apps and everything, paint apps that we don't get on normal figures. But then we look at the Siege line, and it's getting way more paint than we've gotten used to. So maybe Hasbro's just saying, hey, maybe we need to do more.
I just want to say how
just looking at it. Yeah.
I was going to say how detailed the Studio Series is. Movie 1 and Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, I never noticed it on Ironhide. But Studio Series, I actually thought I had some kind of a malformed, mismolded Ironhide.
Oh, on his face?
You can probably see it in the face in high definition now. If it'll focus, it's not going to focus. Yeah, it's not going to focus. But anyway, and then I looked up stuff from the films, and his face is actually like that, and I never noticed that. and that's just gold to me. I mean, we never got that. And
I think he got like shrapnel or something like caught in the left side.
Yeah,
I read
but
it
it's
somewhere.
like his forehead is at a slope. His right eye is kind of weirded. I mean, that's detail that you wouldn't otherwise have expected. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, and this might seem controversial to some people who are fans of some of the earlier lines. The studio series, in my opinion, is better than the Revenge of the Fallen line. And the Revenge of the Fallen line was, in my opinion, up to this point,
out of all the movies, it was some of the best.
It's funny that Revenge of the Fallen
line.
Well, again, I think a lot of the Revenge of the Fallen's strength was in their smaller sizes.
Yeah,
I mean, not saying the bigger figures were bad, but we got some hellacious scout size class figures during that time period.
Okay.
So, and again, a lot of people, Jerome, you were mentioning the first movie, Optimus. That movie, it was not right. A lot of people say, "Oh, if you bought your Revenge of the Fallen Optimus, you don't need the first one." Well, I mean, you don't need it, no. But that first Prime has a lot of charm to it, and I do like it. I even bought that reissue they did about 2 or 3 years ago with all the extra chrome and everything.
Oh yeah,
because it's still a great figure, and without it, we wouldn't have Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh yeah, that one I have too. That one was a fun figure.
Without this early movie stuff, we wouldn't have studio series. But the downside is, do you always want to wait 10 years? And hopefully you'll get a better figure down the road.
Look how long it took us to get masterpiece versions of some of our favorite characters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Some of us have gray in our beards already.
Yeah, and I mean,
some of them their balls dropped.
And at least we're getting the figures.
If you get the joke they're on. 8-year-old when I came around in 2007 to, that's what I mean.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just the fact that...
Rick would have said something about that.
Well, Rick's not here.
So?
Yeah. Oh.
We love you, Rick.
Yeah,
Mostly.
Mostly.
But, so, I mean, so that's my thought, is that you don't buy it and wait, or you buy it and then you feel bad about buying it, and then you buy the new stuff that you like, but you have the old stuff, so are you going to sell the old stuff? Yes, you won't get anything for it, but you enjoyed it, so it's like, it's this gigantic cluster of. I mean, the only way you'll ever be ahead is if you get a time machine, travel 40 years into the future, find out what the final toy was before everything went to hell, buy it, and then come back. That's the only way you'll get ahead in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll always look at MPO1. That is still, to me, one of the most outstanding figures that they ever did. That was literally Optimus Prime coming off the screen. The best representation we ever had. Yes, he has been supplemented by other figures down the road. He's big, he's unwieldy, he has some issues, but he's still a gorgeous figure.
And he comes with a voice box.
Yeah.
25th anniversary.
Yeah. But if we didn't have MPO1, we wouldn't have MP10. We wouldn't have MP44. So you'll never have the best version unless you have the very last thing that's ever done.
Yeah.
And that's just what you go through.
Jim, I'm saving the best for last. How has
Thank you, Chucks?
How has the the studio series changed the way you view movie toys, Transformer movie toys?
I'll tell you, over the years, I have owned so many movie figures. I mean, I look to some of my favorites, just off the top of my head. I'm going to say, well, most of them are going to be referring to Revenge of the Fallen, of course. I look to like Brawn, Deluxe Brawn.
Oh yeah,
was phenomenal.
I would love to get a new studio series of him.
Oh, I know, but he wasn't an on-screen character, so I mean, we did get the drones from the movie, so who knows? Pardon me. Was it Demolisher? The one with the two big wheels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was Demolisher. I love that one. It was such a departure away from the standard, 2 arms, 2 legs, sometimes blocky, sometimes not, whatever. But it still invoked the Transformer feel, and just it was just kind of hard to top something like that. And then you look at I don't know the first film. I'm going to go on to say the what was it, the premium series? Is that what it was called? It was like where they added the extra paint deco, like Final Battle Jazz, and that was the
No, Final Battle Jazz was Allspark Power, I think it was, or something.
Yeah,
It was
the little cylinders.
After the Allspark Power, I think it was the Platinum series. I'm pretty sure had a little chrome stripe on the package going around the bubble. Yeah. And even then, you look further ahead. You got the Hunt for the Decepticons line, where we got Bludgeon and Axer, two of my childhood favorites.
Battle Blades Optimus Prime.
Oh, Battle Blades Optimus and Battle Blade Bumblebee.
The Voyager Prime,
those were beautiful. I'm disappointed we never got a Jetfire to go with a downscale Jetfire to go with that Optimus.
That Prime, I still find it to be a good step down if you don't want to get the leader.
Absolutely.
The transformation's a pain, but it's still fun.
And then the Dark of the Moon redeco of that when they reissued it, and there's some kind of 2-pack, I think, with someone.
Yeah, it was
Are you sure?
It had the hooks and the the mouth instead of the faceplate. And then the Battle Blade Bumblebee. It was a deluxe car, but you transform it, and it's a Voyager robot mode. Just like Axer. Axer is gigantic. I mean, far and away, those are some of the best toys I think we've ever gotten in any line, and I don't really feel comfortable saying that, but I feel it true until Studio Series, because like Jazz here. Okay, yes, the car mode is small, but a Pontiac Solstice, if you've ever actually looked at an actual Pontiac Solstice,
I've actually stood next to one the other day.
Yeah,
it was.
Those are
I don't think I could sit in one.
It is a.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah. Talk about an astronaut
compact car. But just the amount of detail and the amount of articulation in that, and how complex the transformation is. I mean, he doesn't have much in the way of kibble aside from, of course, the Jazz backpack. But Jazz has always had a backpack in pretty much any incarnation, so that's nothing new. The one downside, and I love singing the praises of Studio Series, but there is a downside: weapon storage. You look to Ironhide, the cannons, they plug in together and become something. I love that flavor of Coke. That is awesome. If you guys haven't tried
episode brought to you by Orange Vanilla Coca-Cola.
Yes.
I'm so sorry I got you started on that.
I know.
Oh, that stuff's amazing.
Pop. I never drink pop.
But I think
the Jazz weapon, the ratchet weapon, they're visible on top of the vehicle mode. However,
his blender of doom.
Bumblebee, VW Bumblebee Studio Series 18, I think it is. Everything stores away. It's wonderful. Even in robot mode, you got the little cannon peg onto the back.
Mm-hmm.
The blade pretty much perpetually stays on the arm.
Yeah. Well, now aren't we getting an Optimus Prime that is one of the later Studio Series releases that becomes the I think what I always called it. Someone else told me this. It was called the Stargate Armory because it looks like the Stargate.
It's leader class for Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the repaint of the new Prime that combines with Jetfire. It's going to have the ribs, and it's not ribs, but the abs. But
the one that combines with Jetfire, I think, is Voyager class.
It is.
No, it's the same figure, but they have to repackage it because it comes with the trailer. It's the same size. It's the same figure. But
I was thinking that the Optimus itself was a leader class scale. So it's kind of like a Siege Shockwave, where it's a smaller figure but with accessories.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Because I think adding weapon storage in vehicle mode would have totally blown Studio Series apart trying to get it to work. It would have been like, let's put a mini-con here. Well, now it doesn't work because your mini-con is right in the middle of everything and you can't do anything. So I think it would have been that same thing. It would have been a non-functional concept to have weapon storage on with as tight as these tolerances are. Like I said, the precision necessary for Studio Series. But since we're getting the Optimus Prime armory, maybe you'll be able to store all your weapons in the armory ring, which would be a nice place to store everything. in your display. But yeah, I don't
Now-
think having integrated storage would have even been possible with this line.
Now, with that Optimus, does it have the capacity to store weapons from other figures, or is it specifically just exclusive to Optimus's weaponry?
I mean,
I think it is going to have 5mm ports for like the mech tech stuff. I think.
Yeah, because I mean, as big as they are on intercompatibility between the lines, I can't imagine them not having extra storage on Optimus's armory ring for other weapons and stuff.
Okay.
Because it just seems like it's a missed opportunity to have the cross play going on.
I'd be curious to see what the big difference would be mold wise or deco wise, either or, between the Jetfire combining one and then the Dark of the Moon one.
Well, actually, there's another Optimus coming out after 37, which is the first one that combines with Jetfire.
Yeah.
There's another Voyager Optimus that there's a little ab plate that you connect to it, so it will combine with Jetfire. So there's like two Voyager Prime that will combine with Jetfire.
That almost feels unnecessary.
I think one is Revenge of the Fallen and one is Dark of the Moon, or Dark of the Moon and Age of It's the two different primes from the two different movies, but both will combine with Jetfire if you use the ab add-on piece.
Interesting.
I just call it the Thigh Master. Just put your Thigh Master on there and.
Yeah, because I knew we had the one. It was like I think it was Studio Series 5. I think was movie 1, which I completely missed out on.
It's weird because they labeled it because the first Optimus that came out was Revenge of the Fallen, but it doesn't combine with Jetfire. The second one that came out is supposed to be movie 1 Prime, but can combine with Jetfire. I think they should have swapped the names. So the first one that came out should have been movie 1, and then the second one be Revenge of the Fallen.
The first one, number 5, I think was geared more toward the forest battle.
Yeah.
Pre-Matrix.
Yep.
Okay. Because he has the swords. That's what it is. Okay.
Interesting. All right. I want to wrap up the Studio Series discussion now, and then there's a little segment here that I want to start. I don't know if we'll do it every episode, but the idea of this is I'm going to throw you a question, and this is similar to Rick's game here, but it's more of just a personal preference type.
Duran's game.
Yes. But I without thinking long and hard about it, because this is something that you've already, I know. This is something that you've probably already thought of, and you should already know your answer. And I'm going to ask each one of you. Sean, money, no object. What is the number one Transformer toy that you want right now? If you could,
an AFA Weird Wolf mitten sealed box. That is what I want.
Damn it, took mine. Anyway.
Okay, besides that would be Fans Toys Weird Wolf Lupus. That'd be cool.
Okay. Don, if money were no object, what Transformers toy would you go out and grab right now?
Battle Gaia.
Battle Gaia.
I do not have that color combination for Bruticus.
Interesting.
Because I would not spend the money on Minerva, because I would buy her, and she would turn yellow within 2 years, and I would bang my head against the wall until I was dead.
She would turn yellow in the closet.
That escalated quickly.
Jack.
Generations Metroplex. I've been trying to complete my Chug line for like the past, I think it was 3-4 years, and ever since he came out, I obviously, because wasn't he like mainly released by Toys R Us? I think
I saw one
He was Costco
at one Toys R Us,
and
I don't think he was.
Toys R Us.
Yeah, he wasn't a store exclusive, but only some really big box.
yeah,
stores
because
would carry him.
size.
where I live, we don't have any Toys R Us within a span of like I think at least 50 miles.
Well, no one does.
Oh, I know, but I
Canada.
mean, when it was still open, we don't. I think it was maybe at least hour and a half drive that way, and I never got around to having one, and I just want one and need one bad, especially if I'm going to be getting 6-gun now, then that'll kind of help.
I mean, I'll be honest, for the money, if you can get a Utopia, it's a much nicer looking figure.
That one I've been thinking about
He's
too.
small though. He's too small.
But it looks better.
He does look better, but he's too
Does
small.
look good. I gotta
He's
give him
He's
that.
got to go next to like Fort Max and Trypticon and.
Do you know where my Fort Max is right now? It's sitting in my collector's room on the floor because I was so disappointed in that toy. I wish I never bought it.
If you
Jim,
don't want it gone, I'm accepting donations.
I got both of them.
I'm accepting cash.
Jim,
I got both of them, so I'm good.
Yes, sir.
money no object. What's the number one Transformer toy you want right now?
Well, see, I don't know if I have just one in particular. Going
pick
by
one.
by more vintage lines from my childhood,
Pick one.
I would have to say either Sealed Horrible or the pair of Slam Dance and Squawk Box. Those 4 cassettes. But as far as current lines, I would have to say the Titans I missed out on so far, which would be what was already said, Generations Metroplex. Because I saw one once, I came back like 2 days later with money, gone, never saw it again. And now it's like $300 and $400. I mean, it's killing me. I'm hoping maybe for a reissue, but
Takara's already done that.
Yeah,
And
it's expensive too.
I think the cheapest one iPhone was like $200 sealed.
But I'm holding out hope because an Ollie's bargain outlet just opened about 3 months ago, like 4 miles from my house, which is so much closer. I'm hoping for a Predaking.
Oh, I gotta get him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$50 for a Predaking, I could do that. I could absolutely do that.
Interesting. Well, I believe that'll do it for our episode today. I hope you guys had fun with that last little segment there. And if you guys who are viewing and who are listening to this episode, if you liked it, please let us know. You can tweet us at TFYLP, or you can follow us on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/TFYLP. And please, if you're watching this on our Facebook page, then if you haven't liked us already, please like us and get notifications for when we go live, because we go live at least a couple times a week, and with some awesome content from TFYLP. Great collectors get together and we talk about our hobby that we love so much, collecting Transformers. And if you are watching us on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and let other people know that who are fans that you like TFYLP, because word of mouth is the best advertisement that anybody can ever have. We strive to keep getting better and better and better. So, we're slowly getting there. I think so. I mean, I look at when this podcast started back in 2010 and where we're at now, and it never ceases to amaze me every time I think of where it's come. And right now, I have to thank all the fans and all the Patreons that help continue us each and every month. So thank you all. And if you love the studio series stuff, check out TFYLP Microcasters. Last Tuesday, the topic was the most recent studio series wave, which included the Shatter. I know Lucas and Sean, were you on that episode? I believe you were, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And I let you guys know that Shatter sucks.
Yeah. So if you want to watch that one, you can go to tftalk.net and you can actually download it or view it right there on the website. Or you can go to iTunes and subscribe and download the full video podcast a day or so after it airs live, only on our Facebook page. Because that's the only place you'll get TFYLP Microcasters Live is on our Facebook page at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on Tuesday nights. TFYLP Microcasters.
See you next Tuesday.
Yes. Yes. All right, guys.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. We'll see you next time on TFYLP. Good night, everybody.
Right.
Later, guys.